Hi. Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. I don't know. Hello. Hello everybody. Hello everyone. Perché così? Hello everyone. For those who don't know, my name is Julia Yangchen. I am 20 years old and I usually dance. Like in my channel, I usually dance Tibetan dances. But today I thought to bring a different content. In fact, I recently have been really passionate, interested in Tibetan history. So I thought today to tell you a story about how Tibet was unified for the very first time. So let's start. Now we know Tibet divided into regions as Amdo region or Kham region, Utang region, but in ancient time, Tibet was divided into reign. In fact, there were three main reigns. The first one and the most powerful one was the Shangshung reign. The second one was the Sumba reign, and the third one was the Tibetan reign. As I said, the most powerful one was Shangshung reign because he had a really strong military power, and also it was the only one who had a really strong culture. In fact, he had a developed written language which was created by Tempa Shrab Nyuwoche, and thanks to this written language, Shangshung reign could write its own history and also could develop medicine, astrology, and all other knowledge. Shangshung had also its own religion, which was the Bonpo religion. It is said that at that time the Sumba reign was under the control of Shangshung reign, but it is still now not really sure if it's real or not, because the Sumba history is really mysterious, if we can call it like this, because we don't have many written proof about its history. We can just assume that the Sumba reign was under the control of Shangshung reign just because every maybe 6 years the king of Shangshung had to go through all Tibet, because Shangshung, let's imagine that Shangshung was here, so the Shangshung king had to go through all Tibet, which was here, Tibetan reign, in order to arrive to the Sumba reign, which was situated like near Amdo region. So he had to go through all of this just to see, like to check if everything was alright. So thanks to this information, we can assume that the Sumba reign was under the control of Shangshung reign. So as I previously said, Shangshung had a really strong culture, and because he was basically the only one among the three reigns to have a culture, like to have a written language, to have a religion, he had a really strong cultural power, cultural influences also all over the other two reigns. In fact, every time a king was born in the Tibetan area, he had two main teachers from the Bonpo tradition, and they gave him a purification ceremony following the tradition of Bonpo, and also gave him a name using the Shangshung language. So that's just an example to show how strong the cultural power of Shangshung was at that time. So in order to liberate a little bit the Tibetan area from these influences, some kings, like 2 or 3, tried to do something about it. So tried to liberate the Tibetan area, but they couldn't because Shangshung was too strong at that time. And of course, the military power was so strong. So they couldn't until a king, which is called Songtsen Gampo, was born. Songtsen Gampo is one of the best known Tibetan kings in the Tibetan history. In fact, he succeeded in to unify the whole 3 reign. But how he did it? He was really clever, and he observed the behaviors of the previous kings, and he understood that attacking the Shangshung reign was not really useful. So he understood that the first thing he had to do was to create Tibetan culture. So he sent one of his ministers called Tommy Sambota in India in order to create Tibetan written language. And he did it, and he created the 30 syllables alphabet that now we know. And also he created a type of writing called Uchen. And now we also use this type of writing. In the meanwhile, he wanted to establish a peaceful ally between the Tibetan reign and the Shangshung reign. So he offered his sister as a wife for the king of Shangshung, which was the king Li Mingye. And he himself, like Songtsen Gampo, married the princess of Shangshung. So with these two marriages, the peaceful alliance was established. With the time passing, the sister of Songtsen Gampo started to feel a little bit uncomfortable in the Shangshung area, in the Shangshung reign, because the main wife of the king Li Mingye was too much powerful. Like, she was the main wife, okay? So she had more control, more power. So the sister of Songtsen Gampo started to feel a little bit uncomfortable. She started to pass information of Shangshung to Songtsen Gampo. Thanks to this, Songtsen Gampo started to think about a strategy in order to attack the Shangshung reign. So thanks to his sister, Songtsen Gampo knew the day and the path that Li Mingye was following in order to go to Sumba reign. So he managed to kill him. He sent also some soldiers in the capital city of the Shangshung reign in order to conquer the king's palace. So once he killed King Li Mingye and once he conquered the main capital city of Shangshung, all the town near the capital city started to feel unprotected and also fell into a state of confusion, panic, other bad sensations. Songtsen Gampo used this condition. Okay, so Songtsen Gampo used this condition in order to conquer also all the towns near the main capital city. So thanks to this, Songtsen Gampo became the first king of Tibet, and it comprehended the reign of Shangshung, the reign of Tibet, and the reign of Sumba. As a first thing he did as the king of the whole Tibet was to change the religion. In fact, he didn't use anymore the Bonpo religion, but he used the Buddhism. After that, he started to use more the Tibetan written language instead of the Shangshung one. But the story don't end, okay? But the story doesn't end here. In fact, after he became the king of the whole Tibet, he started to feel a little bit ill. In fact, he developed a illness in his legs. He couldn't walk anymore. His two teachers who were following the Bonpo tradition immediately recognized this kind of illness, and they said it was created by the magic spell of one of the Shangshung master. They said also that they couldn't do anything about it, but they gave an advice to the king Songtsen Gampo, and they said that he should invite this master. After that, he immediately sent his soldier in order to find this master and bring him to Songtsen Gampo. After he arrived, the master of Shengshung immediately cured Songtsen Gampo, and as a prize, Songtsen Gampo decided to leave a place between U and Tan, to leave there a place dedicated to the Bonpo tradition. But of course, the history of Songtsen Gampo doesn't end here. In fact, it's a really long story. Before Songtsen Gampo, actually, there were a lot of other important kings and also important queens. But we don't have really the time of tell all this story, even though they are really beautiful and precious. So maybe we can talk about it. So I would like to thank you. I am so sorry if this video was a little bit boring, but I find Tibetan history really precious and really fascinating. So I hope that with this story you might find it as well beautiful and fascinating. So thank you so much for watching this video and see you next Wednesday. Thank you. Bye bye. Ciao.